As part of a $365 million plan, the province will offer $200 or $250 per child to help offset the cost of catching up in school. This is meant to help students get tutoring or other supports that they may need. Supports are also coming to try and address the latest EQAO results. With math action teams coming to schools that need the most, and online courses will soon be available for grade 9 students, the youngest students will be screened for reading proficiency, and public tutoring programs will be extended. To speak more about all of this, we're joined live this morning here on CP24 Breakfast by Education Minister Stephen Lecce. Good morning, Minister. Thanks for making time.
Good morning, and good to be with you.
So I want to start with the numbers here. What you're offering, $200 to $250, that may only cover a couple of tutoring sessions. Is that really enough to close the learning gap here?
Well, first off, we announced Ontario's plan to catch up with the recognition that we've got to keep kids in school as the first principle if we're going to help with learning loss. The second component was helping our publicly funded schools, which is why, yes, we've extended publicly funded tutoring. Parents should know that in their schools and their communities, they're eligible today for more tutoring opportunities to support their kids, focus on the fundamentals of reading, writing, and math. In addition, yes, we do believe providing direct financial support to parents, as what this government and our premier has done 3 times prior, is a good thing. Look, we're in a very difficult time. Inflation hasn't been higher in a generation. The cost of living is rising. I trust a parent to spend money on their family more than a politician, a bureaucrat, or a union leader to do so. They will put these dollars to good use. They will invest in their kids for textbooks, for technology, for after-school programming. It could be for tutoring. It could be for a variety of subjects and areas that are going to help move their kids forward. That's why the plan supports more funding for students, for schools, and for parents in the province.
Okay, I'll pick up on one of the things you mentioned. The province is not going to be, Minister, asking for receipts for those expenses. You mentioned inflation. The cost of everything's going up. So how can you be sure the money will be going towards learning?
Well, we're providing $200 for every child 0 to 18 and $250 for every child with special education needs up to age 21. And just if I may, for parents out there who are curious, how do I get access to these dollars? Go today, ontario.ca/catch-up payments, and you will be able to get these dollars direct in your accounts in about 2 to 3 weeks. So it's pretty seamless. It's done online, and it's made to be an easy user experience. But to your question, we thought maximum flexibility. We committed in August in our budget, and to the people of this province, we would provide affordability. We thought that was so important right now for parents who play a critical role in the life of their child. And so we've stepped up with over $360 million of investment. We've said to parents, use these dollars to improve the lives of their children, specifically focus on catching up, keeping in mind that in addition to the dollars we're providing directly to you, to the parents of this province, we're increasing the supports in the classroom. We have 5,000 more staff in our schools this year, $600 million more this year than last year. And yes, we are going to be, for the first time in Ontario, for young kids out there, for parents with children from kindergarten to grade 2, we're going to be doing a literacy assessment to understand if your child has regressed in reading and give them the right interventions and supports to get them on track, because literacy is so foundational to a productive life and to a job. So we do have a vision to support everyone through the system and through the province, and I'm just very grateful that we've opened up these dollars to parents across Ontario.
But Minister, you've often repeated that students are best served by being in the classroom, right? So why give this one approach of giving parents money to find their own solutions outside the classroom?
Well, because first off, we accept that parents play a critical role in the life of a child, right? So much learning happens at home, and I think parents need that support. But, I always reject the premise that it's an either-or proposition. Why can't government do both? Why can't we step up supports for schools, for children, for staff in our publicly funded schools, while at the same time, after increasing investments for our education system by $600 million, why can't we also help parents out? And I think a lot of parents so far have given me the thumbs up saying, look, it helps. It may not, it's not going to pay the mortgage. It's here to help incrementally support their children with their learning loss, get them back on track. And I think anything government can do and our premier can do is a positive thing, which is why we've unveiled a program that is designed to help families, help students, and help invest in our publicly funded schools.
Let me ask about contract negotiations with CUPE. We know mediation is broke down. We're hearing the strike, Minister, could happen as early as next month. I'm just wondering, was there any consideration to the $250 that you're giving to each family? Was there any consideration to use that budget in these negotiations with CUPE?
Well, as you know, we have offered CUPE something very reasonable, 8% over the course of the program, and the maintenance of the best benefits, the best pension, job security, which they had through the pandemic, and of course, 131 paid sick days. We think that's reasonable. Obviously, when the union comes forward requesting a nearly 50% increase in compensation, most people watching would probably say, I am not eligible for that type of increase over a 3-year program, 3-year deal. We need the parties to be reasonable. We're going to continue to offer those workers whom we value more money every year over the course of their program. We have days booked with this union. My hope is they're going to come to the table with something realistic, something affordable. $19 billion when you essentially take CUPE's demands and you extend it to the teachers, because whatever we do with CUPE becomes the floor in the negotiations for the teacher negotiation. It's $19 billion of tax dollars. And honestly, in good conscience, I think we need to put more money in the classroom, not in compensation. Let's be fair to the workers. Let's provide a good deal for students. And if we care about them, we're never going to walk away from a negotiating table. We're never going to strike. And so the whole point of yesterday's announcement, the funding for parents, the increased supports for schools, is premised on a simple principle and a conviction that children deserve to be in class. They need to be in school to catch up. And I really hope that cooler heads will prevail in the union and all sides, and we can focus on giving kids the predictability so they can stay in school in front of their educators with their friends, and they can fundamentally get back on track after an extraordinary challenge that EQAO yesterday has confirmed is real in reading, writing, and math. We have an obligation to stay at the table, and the government will never leave. We'll always be ready to get a decent deal, a good deal for all parties we can all live with that keeps these kids in school.
Okay, Minister Stephen Lecce, thanks so much for your time this morning. We appreciate this.
Thank you.